The President of USA Donald Trump, Success Speech. Ladies and gentlemen. When I look back at the road I have walked, I see not a straight highway but a winding path filled with storms, doubts, victories, and sacrifices. I was born in Queens, New York, not in a palace of gold, but in a home where dreams were taught as lessons and discipline was not just expected, it was lived. As a boy, I gazed at the tall skyscrapers of Manhattan, wondering if I could ever leave my mark upon them. I wasn't the smartest in the room, nor the most talented, but what I carried with me was a burning fire that whispered, "Never give up." People see the success, the headlines, the fame, the office of president. But what they do not always see are the nights of silence where I wrestled with failure, the times when I was told I was finished, the moments when life tried to break me down. Business is ruthless. Politics is unforgiving. But in both, I learned that greatness is not built when the crowd cheers. It is built when the crowd doubts you, when even your friends step back, and you are left alone with only your willpower as your companion. I want to share with you not just my story, but a lesson about humanity, kindness, and what true success means. Because success is not measured by how high you climb, it is measured by how many people you lift while climbing. There was a time, in the early days of my career, when I walked the streets of New York and saw homeless men sleeping on benches while I was negotiating million-dollar deals. It struck me like lightning, what is the worth of wealth if it cannot change a life? I remember pausing, taking a sandwich from my car, and handing it to a man who had nothing. That man, with tired eyes, looked at me and whispered, "God bless you." It was such a simple moment, yet it taught me more than any boardroom ever could. In his blessing, I realized that compassion is wealth greater than gold. And yet, my journey was not without setbacks. I faced bankruptcy more than once. I was ridiculed by the media, mocked by opponents, and told that I had lost everything. There were days when banks turned their backs on me, when people I trusted disappeared, and when the future looked like a locked door. But here lies the truth, failure is not the opposite of success, it is the foundation of it. Each fall sharpened me. Each mistake built resilience. And every "no" that I heard became fuel for the fire that kept me moving forward. But success is not about one man standing tall, it is about millions standing together. When I became President of the United States, I did not carry only my story, I carried the hopes of farmers who rise before dawn, of single mothers working 2 jobs to feed their children, of soldiers who risk their lives for a flag they love. My voice was never meant to be just mine, it was meant to echo the struggles and dreams of the people. And there was one moment during my presidency that I will never forget. I visited a small hospital where a young boy was battling a deadly disease. His parents had no money for treatment. They looked at me, not as a president, but as a man who could offer hope. I sat beside that boy, held his small hand, and promised his mother that he would get the care he deserved. That day, politics disappeared, power disappeared, and only humanity remained. The smile on that boy's face after his surgery reminded me why leadership exists, not for wealth, not for applause, but to touch lives in ways that last forever. Friends, life is unpredictable. You will be doubted, rejected, and even laughed at. But remember this, the world respects those who never surrender. You may not be born with privilege. You may not have all the opportunities others have. But you have your will, your kindness, and your courage, and with those 3, you can build empires. Never let fear paralyze you. Never let failure define you. And never forget that the most powerful currency you carry is love, love for your family, for your community, for your nation, and for humanity. When I stood in the White House, looking at the American flag waving in the wind, I felt something deeper than pride. I felt responsibility. Because every star on that flag represents dreams yet to be fulfilled, and every stripe represents sacrifices made for freedom. That flag is not just America's, it is a reminder to the entire world that resilience, courage, and unity can overcome anything. So, my message to you is this: do not measure your worth by the applause of others. Do not think success is only money or power. True success is when you can stand tall, look back, and say, I did not just live for myself, I lived for others too. Let us be builders, not destroyers. Let us be givers, not takers. And let us prove that no matter how divided the world seems, kindness can still unite us. My story may be written in books, but your story is still unfolding. Write it with courage. Write it with compassion. And when history looks back, let it say that you were not just successful, you were significant. Because at the end of the day, when the lights go out and the titles fade, the question that remains is not, how much did you achieve, but, how many lives did you touch? Thank you, God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.